But we get started with our final mock drafts a day before the NFL draft. Me, Cecil, and Mikey McNuggets actually dropped his final mock draft for us to take a look at. So we're going to share ours. We're going to get some comments and thoughts and opinions from you all in the audience, and just have a conversation of why we went the direction that we did. If you got any thoughts, if you got any guys that you all have played around with the mock draft simulator and somebody that really stuck out to you, drop that in the comments, man. Best comments get read on screen. Let's get started. We're going to start with McNuggets. So, talk to Mike this morning as we was preparing for the flagship show. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Catch the flagship show at 11 o'clock a.m. Today's lineup is Adam Nabua, Dustin Fox, and yours truly. So I'll see y'all again at about 11 o'clock. But this is what Mike had, right? So this was Mike's mock draft. Let's take a look at it, right? No surprises with pick number 2, Travis Hunter. He went Jalen Milroe with pick 33. That was pretty interesting to me. Caleb Johnson, Harold Fanning Jr., Jordan Phillips, Jalen Travis, the tackle from Iowa State, which I like. Malachi Moore, Kobe King, the running back from Virginia Tech, and edge rusher from Syracuse. Is there anything that you like? Is there anything that stands out? Is there anything that makes you look at McNuggets and say, man, you crazy?
Do you see that F by Jalen Milroe?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think let's start with Jalen. I love what he can do. And again, I think he can be a really good player, but it's about him being in the right system, with the right team, and with patience, right? I just don't know if this is the right team or this is the right team that will have patience with a Jalen Milroe and continue to develop him, right? He can throw the deep ball. He can run his butt off, but can he go through his progression? Can he be accurate with the intermediate to short throws consistently, right? So to me, that one, I'm like, second round, that's tough. I get it. And a couple of different mocks I had him to, I was battling. I was going back and forth. But I feel like there's a better fit at quarterback than Jalen. I love Caleb. I love Harold Fanning from BG. I think, is going to be a steal. I think he has some Antonio Gates in him. I think he can be a really, really good pass catcher. And then you added depth at important positions. You had depth at tackle, safety, linebacker. I love what I see in the rest of the draft. It's just that Milroe pick is tough for me to buy in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happened in real life tomorrow night, right? Because it's a situation to where you might have 2 quarterbacks going the first round. You might have 4 going the first round. And I've noticed that as we, got further along in this process, Jalen Milroe name is starting to ring out a little bit more than what it was at the beginning. The athleticism, the speed, the intelligence, the football IQ, the knocks on him is the pass accuracy and not being able to process well. And that's a huge problem to me when you get to the next level. The Browns offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, he had some success with him when he was with him in Alabama. But, it's one of those situations. I don't necessarily think he is the best fit for the Cleveland Browns immediately. I do think he has the highest ceiling and he has raw talent, right? He's like, when you hear the Anthony Richardson comparisons, that's a little scary. You know what I mean? Because Anthony Richardson, again, a guy that was a lot of raw talent, very athletic, but to this point, it hasn't really worked out for him. So, you spoke to maybe about a month and a half ago about building a right quarterback room specifically in Cleveland, right? Knowing the history of the Browns in this position, you got a veteran in there in Joe Flacco. Whether he wants to be a mentor or not is to be determined. You got a guy in there in Kenny Pickett who did not have success as a rookie quarterback, has not had success since he's been on this rookie contract. He's been on a couple teams since then. So, this is a situation. Is this room built up the right way for Jalen Milroe? And that's something that we're going to have to talk more about. Let's take a look at Cecil Shorts' mock draft. Now, before Mike's draft was a B+ grade, and it finished in the top 43% of all of the PFF simulated mock draft. So y'all drop y'all comments. Y'all let us know what y'all thought of Mikey McNuggets. Let's move on to yours, bro. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got going on here. You took Travis Hunter, of course. Josh Connerly Jr., Dylan Sampson. You also took Harold Fanning Jr. You got Tyler Shook, Malachi Moore, Kobe King, Riley Mills, Jimmy Horn Jr. I like that. I like that. And
Hmm.
Ollie Gordon the second, running back out of Oklahoma State. Okay, okay. So elaborate, man. What Travis Hunter is a given. I see you went tackle, running back, tight end. Talk to me about that.
I'm just thinking offensively. Stefanski is supposed to be the genius, right? He's supposed to be the
Mhm.
guy that gets things rolling on the offensive ball. So, and you know how it goes. Certain guys fall in the draft. So when Josh failed to me, and tackle is a need, and he can be anywhere from the end of the first to the early second. I'm like, oh, I got to take Josh from Oregon. He only gave up 2 sacks in his entire career at Oregon. Strong physical guy. So I'm like, all right, I'll go there. And then thinking Dylan Sampson, good fit. You need our running backs, right? I also went running back super late with Ali Gordon. Ali Gordon was extremely productive his junior year. His junior year, he went nuts. I mean, 17, 1,800 yards. And then this year, not sure what happened, what went on, but he is a load of talent. So if you can get it, I think to me, him and Jimmy Horn might be some steals that can do some things later. Um, but I talked about how much I love Harold Fannin. And then to me, the
Mhm.
biggest thing is you bring in Joe Flacco. When I look at Tyler Shuck and what he brings to the table, he looks to me like a Joe Flacco type quarterback. So who better to fit in that room with Joe Flacco, with Kenny Pickett, than a Tyler Shuck that understands the game, played a lot of football, a lot of reps under his belt. He's big and strong like a Joe Flacco was. He looks like an AFC North type of quarterback. He's just big. He can throw the ball. He can make any throw. He's been up and down draft boards as well. I've seen him in the first round. I've seen him in the fourth round. So it just depends on where teams have him on the board. But he is somebody I think in the fourth round could be a really, really good asset to the team. And there's no pressure. A fourth round guy, there's no pressure for him to be the starter right away. When he's ready, he can be the guy. If he's not ready, cool. You roll with Flacco or Pickett, whatever the case may be, and kind of go from there.
The injury history, the
Mm.
age, and the fact that we've traveled this road before is what turns me off from Tyler Shuck. And I get it. He ain't have a damn thing to do with Brandon Wheaton, but it's like the Browns have tried this before and it didn't work out. Now this situation is different. Brandon was a first round pick, and I knew it was bad when he got trapped up under the flag during the national anthem week 1. That was a sign that this thing was to fail. Now in this case, you're right. There's no pressure on him to play. You sit back and you learn. You don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. It could be Flacco, could be Kenny Pickett, but I think in any scenario, he's not going to be put in a situation unless injuries happen to where he has to play year 1. I just look at this kid and I see a career backup. I don't see a guy who can really, really have a true impact on solving the Browns' overall quarterback issues. So for me, when I look at Tyler, I'm not looking at a guy that is going to make much noise. I think he's a guy that you can have on a rookie contract that can be in the quarterback room as a second or third string quarterback long term. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all because you need solid backup quarterbacks in this league, especially knowing that players get hurt all the time. So one last look at Cecil's mock draft. My man got a B plus. Was in the top 38% of the PFF simulated mock drafts. He went Travis Hunter, Connery Jr. from Oregon, Dylan Sampson, Harold Fanning Jr., Tyler Shook, Malachi Moore, Kobe King, Riley Mills, Jimmy Horn Jr., Ali Gordon II. Now, I see Fanning Jr. and I see Kobe King and you and Mike's mock draft. I think we all pretty much got the same player. We're going to take a look at mine now, man. Now, y'all don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. This is what I did. I felt like, first of all, if the draft fall like this, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But I went Travis. I went Josh Connery Jr. as well. I picked 33. I took Caleb Johnson at 67. Jalen Milroe with my second, third round pick. I went Elijah Roberts, the edge rusher from SMU. I too went Kobe King. I went 2 picks higher. Cecil, a guy we talked about last week, Keandre Lambert Smith. I took him in the 6th round. I went ahead and doubled up on the quarterback position, taking Quinn Ewers. I took the corner Denzel Burke from the Ohio State University. I know Tyvis Powell loved that. And then I took Luke Leitchi. Really don't know too much about him. All I know is the grooming process at Iowa when it comes to the tight end position. I can trust that. They know what they're doing when they come to grooming tight ends. We know the Browns love tight ends, and they're going to be in need for another one. So when I look at my mock draft, man, I thought it made sense to go tackle at with my second round pick. Conley is a guy that's projected to go anywhere from 24 to 34. So, you possibly getting a guy with a first round grade at the top of the second round. I
Mm-hmm.
think Caleb Johnson, of all the running backs that we've discussed, to me, he fits the Cleveland Browns system the best. Uh, Jalen Milroe, listen, we need a quarterback. We have to address the quarterback position. If the Browns go back to any form of a Kevin Stefanski offense where it seemed like, the zone blocking scheme, the power run, and just being a run first team, Jalen Milroe would make sense with a Caleb Johnson. Hopefully you resign a Nick Chubb, and Tommy Reese and Billy Musgrave can work with him. Like I said, Elijah Roberts, you need somebody to go opposite of Myles Garrett, Kobe King, another guy in the linebacker room. Keandre Lambert Smith, a guy me and you talked about, played in the Big Ten, transfer, played in the SEC. Quinn Ewers, we know about him, Burke and Lacey. So I ask you, what about my mock draft stood out to you?
Jalen in the third round at 94, I like that better than at 33 because again, there's no pressure on him to. When you draft a guy in the top 45, top 50, you expect them to be an impact on day one at some
Mhm.
type of way. You expect them to make an impact some type of way during the season. At 94, I'll even say like 100 on down. Okay, if they make impact, great. If they don't, cool. So at 94, it's more reasonable. Like there's no pressure on him to be that guy right away. When he's ready, you can put him in there. And they, like you mentioned, Tommy Reese in there. It's interesting though. You went Quinn Ewers. Why?
I like Quinn's upside. I like his potential. He's a dude that, when he started off at Ohio State, I thought he was going to have an opportunity to play and make some noise. He transferred to Texas and, played decent. I thought he should have went back to school, but I just think that he's a quarterback that can play some football, that needs some grooming. And, he's a guy that can, probably be an average NFL starter or a pretty damn good backup quarterback. And when you're in the Cleveland Browns situation, there's so many question marks about the raw talent of Jalen Milroe, just like it is of Quinn Ewers. The Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. And if you can fill up the room with a bunch of guys and just kind of, crap shoot it and see what you come out with, then cool. We've seen other situations like in Washington in years past with Robert Griffin and Kirk Cousins, more recently with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. So to me, when that at that pick at that round, I just kind of went best player available and understanding what the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation currently is.
When you draft in your mind, are you just thinking in general, right? What's your thought? Is it best player available or is it team need? Like what
It's
do you
team
think?
need, team
Mm,
priority, probably for the first 4 or 5 picks. And then as we get later on in the draft, I think I'm going best player available. And I'm probably trying to match that up with some guys that's going to be on expiring contracts either at the end of this season or next season. So
that makes sense.
yeah, so
Quinn's interesting because I think Quinn could be. I agree with the upside. I just
mhm.
don't know from what I've seen at UT. I don't know if he's fully developed yet, right? And I think he was kind of forced to come out this year because Arch.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know behind the scenes, but I'm pretty sure Arch is going to be the guy by his junior year. Like by this year, it's like, all right, he in sat twice. It's time for him to take over.